Hi everyone, I'm Laura Ingle. Welcome to the Ingle Edit. I hope that you will like and subscribe to this channel. I'm coming to you from the Gilgo Beach Inn, and this is a parking lot and marina, a little restaurant and bar where we are filming right now. And the reason that we're here is because the parking lot of this location is kind of the closest place you can get to the bike path that goes along Ocean Parkway. And if you've been following along with the Long Island serial killer case, you know that there were many victims that were found along Ocean Parkway. They have since those victims were found, they have made a bike path and they've kind of made a guardrail so you can't really pull over anymore and get to the side of the road. But as we move forward with this case, we're getting closer to getting a trial date for Rex Heuermann, the suspect in the Long Island serial killer case. He has been charged with 7 victims. So we're getting closer to the trial. We know now that the judge has ruled that he will face 1 trial, not many, like his defense wants, siding with the prosecution saying it's going to be 1 trial. And another big development that happened over the summer was that the nuclear DNA that was used to tie Rex Heuermann to his alleged victims will be allowed into the trial once we get there. But over the summer, something has happened here along Ocean Parkway. The town of Babylon has installed a series of memorial benches to honor and remember and reflect on the lives of many of the victims in this case. Green benches with placards with their names on them. And the only way that you can get to these benches is to ride out there, to get on a bike and take the ride, or you can walk there. There's nowhere, like I said, to pull over. So I think it's really important for you to see this terrain. You've seen it in the documentaries, you've heard about it in the podcasts, but as we inch closer to the trial and as we are here in 2025, I wanted to give you another look at the terrain. We brought our camera, we brought our drone, we brought our GoPros to give you a perspective that you probably haven't seen. And you know, this is a really important part of the story, to remember the victims and to see how they're being honored. So the only way to get there is to take you there. Here's what we found. We headed out on our bikes from the Gilgo Beach Inn on the Ocean Parkway Coastal Greenway bike path, which is beautiful, by the way, and it runs about 37.5 miles long. Our first stop is at mile marker 7.25, and that's to get you to the first bench installed by the town of Babylon. As we bike through this area, I wanted to point out the names on each of the benches don't correlate to the exact location of where these victims were found, but they, of course, were found either partially or fully around this stretch of Ocean Parkway. And so the first bench that we have come across is in loving memory of Tanya Jackson. And of course, that is the victim formerly known as Peaches, and her partial remains were found along Ocean Parkway in this thick bramble. And just, you know, as we look at this bramble, you can see for yourself how very difficult it would have been to discover anyone for all those years. 14 years is how long it took to find some of these victims. And then this one is in loving memory of Tatiana Marie Dykes, and that is her baby, her toddler. And then here we have in loving memory of John Doe, otherwise known as Asian male Doe, still, as we stand here today on September 30th, 2025, has not been identified. We've been hearing and feeling for a while, those of us covering the case, that there could be an identification of John Doe sometime soon. There's been some press conferences and flyers that have gone out, updated sketch renderings of that victim. So we're going to take you along the path. We're going to get back on the bike and take you to the next bench. Now we are riding to mile marker number 8, and as we get closer to our second bench, I can tell you it took several years and a coordinated effort with the town of Babylon, victims' family members, and through the help of a woman in West Islip named Sarah Farrow, who started a Change.org petition back in 2022 to help get this project conceptualized and completed. In total, the benches project cost roughly $6,300, and it was funded by the town of Babylon. It's just so remarkable when you look at the bramble. There's so many times that we have shown you this, we've talked about this, and you've all seen that video, right, of the investigators marching into the bramble in a line. So it happened along this stretch, and you can see how incredibly thick and difficult this terrain would be to try and find anything, let alone human remains. Yet that is what investigators were able to do. And this stretch of road, this bench that I'm going to take you to, the 3 victims that were found in this area, they were all found in 2011, where their other remains, where their other partial remains were found in different locations. So here we have Valerie Mack. And remember, she was found partially in Manorville. Jessica Taylor, same. Her partial remains found in Manorville. And Rex Heuermann has been charged with the murders of Valerie Mack and Jessica Taylor. But then we have Karen Vergata. As I stand here today on September 30th of 2025, Rex Heuermann has not been charged with Karen Vergata. And we're going to show you where her skull was found and where her legs were found on Fire Island. She was known for a very, very long time as Fire Island Jane Doe. Finally got her identity back in 2023. We have a name to go along with those remains, still waiting for charges of Karen Vergata. These benches placed along Ocean Parkway serve as a place for people to come and remember these victims, where they can sit and reflect on their lives. Because for a really long time, there were only these makeshift memorials that were placed along the bramble, along the side of the road. You've seen them in all of the documentaries, the crosses, the balloons, and the flowers. But when Hurricane Sandy came, all of that was washed away. So the town of Babylon, along with the victims' family members, Suffolk County officials, everybody got together and found a way to put together something that would stand the test of time. So these are very sturdy benches that will be here to remember, in this spot, Valerie Mack, Jessica Taylor, and Karen Vergata. We're going to bike down to the next bench and show you the Gilgo 4. All right, so we are along Ocean Parkway, the bike path where the memorial benches have been placed over the summer of 2025 for the victims of the Long Island serial killer case. And we know that 4 victims were found first, all very close in proximity, the Gilgo 4. And here's the memorial bench for the Gilgo 4, the first of the victims who were discovered along Ocean Parkway. The plaques read, "In loving memory of Maureen Brainerd Barnes, in loving memory of Megan Waterman, in loving memory of Melissa Barthelemy, and in loving memory of Amber Costello." Now we want to take you down the road about 7 miles heading east to Oak Beach, where it all began, the search for Shannan Gilbert, which led to the discovery of all the remains on Ocean Parkway. After the 3 benches were installed, a 4th and final one was placed here. So we're here in Oak Beach on New York's Long Island, and this is, of course, a very important part of the Long Island serial killer case. Many people attribute the search for Shannan Gilbert, who was last seen in this community. That's the Oak Beach community. It's gated. I'm on public property right now, and over there is private property. So she goes missing in May of 2010. And a search ensues to find her. And of course, she wasn't found until a year later, well over a year later. But it was the search for her that uncovered the Gilgo 4 victims and then other victims as well. But many people are still wanting Shannan Gilbert to be connected to this case. They think that there is a connection. Hasn't been proven yet, and the Suffolk County District Attorney says that Rex Heuermann has not been charged, will not be charged with Shannan Gilbert as of right now. But as we've been moving through the story, there was a big push to get these memorial benches put up for 10 of the victims of the Long Island serial killer, and they are down the road near Gilgo Beach. But here in Oak Beach, there was an effort to have one single bench put up in Shannan Gilbert's honor, and we just came across it. We heard it was going to be put up at the end of the summer, and I wanted to come down here today. We're in September now of 2025, and here it is. You can see that the plaque has been placed on this green bench, which is just like the other ones, in loving memory of Shannan Gilbert. So the people that were behind this push with the town of Babylon said that they really wanted to do something to reflect and remember these victims. And Shannon Gilbert, for many people, is still a very big part of this case. Her remains were found in a marsh area right off of Ocean Parkway. And because of that, a lot of people still come to this area to remember her. And now there is a memorial bench where people can do just that and sit here and reflect and also look out to Oak Beach and to the waters in this area.